Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another review, and today I'm taking a look at this. This is the Gundam Calibarn Permet Score 5, and of course this is from Mobile Suit Gundam, the Witch from Mercury. Now this right here looks like a standard release box with some really cool box art on it, but this is actually sadly a P Bandai exclusive, so if you do want one of your own it can be a little bit difficult to get. Now this came out a little bit early because it was released as an event exclusive, but it will be coming out full P Bandai style next month I think, so you can grab yours exactly where I got mine, and that is through Bai, and I'll throw a link down there in the description. But let's not waste any more time, let's get this unboxed. Alright, so jumping pretty quickly on into the build, and I'm expecting this to be pretty much identical to what we would have seen with the standard version of the high-grade Gundam Calibarn, which I'll flash back to right now, was an absolutely phenomenal kit with a couple of options in the box as to the way it looked. You could pick shell units off, or it in its ultimate Permet Score 8, I always totally forget what Permet Score it's meant to be, but 8, Rainbow Pearl Effect. But what was missing in it was the red that we saw for the vast majority of the scenes that the Calibarn was in. And that's kind of the gap this kit fills. Again, not sure why they decided to go premium Bandai on something like this, especially knowing how many people would want it, but I guess that is what they did. So there's that red Permet, and what's looking like the pre-molded shell unit inside, which is that right there. So what we've got inside the box is a fully fledged kit. That is the full robot and everything, weapons, etc., with 6 runners in total, which isn't including the pre-molded shell parts, the included stand, or the beam saber runner. So this is the full kit, again just with some new parts. The manual is fully in color, and everything about this pretty much looks like a complete full release kit. Again, I'm not sure exactly what makes Bandai choose premium Bandai versus regular, but this totally should have been a full release. Alright, so I am going to be blasting through this build today, so I'm going to be taking it pretty quickly. So just for the hilarity of things, I am actually going to time how long it takes me to build it. Mainly for my own kind of entertainment, but yeah, let's just see. So it's stopwatch time, and let's go. So, do you ever get those weird intrusive thoughts like, basically, this right here is my audio cable. This is what the mic is hooked up to. I'm actually filming from a different side than I normally do, so it's running across my lap. So the whole time I'm building, I've got this real, compulsion to cut it. I won't, but I'm always on the verge. I mean, it's just the perfect size for cutting. Now that was just... Anyway, back to the build. Alright, so I'm almost at about 6 minutes, and I've got the little pile of legs cut out, so let's get them put together. So at this point I've just kind of hit a little bit of a wall. Just like with the standard version, there are 2 versions of every sticker. One is a white running to red kind of vibe, the other is red running to yellow, and they're so similar I can't really decide which one I want to use, so I'm probably going to lose another 20 minutes of this build just kind of pining over which one to use. Damn it, which would look better? Oh no. I'm just going to be a complete casual and copy the manual right here and go with the red fading to yellow. Well, actually, it's an easy decision because that's what the chest is, so definitely red to yellow. 12 minutes or so in now, and I've got this bit of a leg done. That's it. I forgot the feet are on a page previous, so it's feet time. Honestly, though, there isn't really much to them. There's just 3 pictures. Alright, so I'm 26 minutes in now and 46 seconds, and I've got 2 legs completed. Just lost one right there. Now, sometimes when I've built a kit, and like this one, say it was the greatest high grade of all time, I'll see it in the shelf after a while compared to other gunpla. I was like, is it though? But just building this kit reminds me of why I said that. It's so few parts with so much payoff that looks and feels fantastic, and the build is just incredible, and we've essentially got a full inner frame going on in it. So yeah, still as impressive as the first day that I built it. 48 minutes in, and there is the torso. I absolutely love building this torso. That pre-molded part is just so cool. It is a sticker on the bottom, but you'd never really notice, and it does have a decent amount of a full inner frame in it too. Anyway, getting it attached on, and the Calibarn is definitely starting to come together. Some 1 hour and 8 minutes into the build, and I've got the arms. So there we go. There is the, well, it's left arm and it's right arm. So time for the backpack. So 1 hour 15 minutes in, so it only took a couple of minutes to really get the backpack complete. There it is. It's very simple. 2-peg attachment, getting that in there. And all that's left is the head. So 1 hour 35 minutes, and there is the head done. Now this took a little longer than a head usually would because I didn't want to actually get rid of the color separated eyes, so I decided to use a Gundam marker to paint them in a yellow green. Everything else I used the stickers on, but it's rare to get color separated eyes, so I wanted to keep them. Onto the weapons. And by keep them I mean part separated, but they are just in a kind of normal green, and metallic's better. So I'm about at 1 hour 55 minutes, and what's really slowing me down at this point are these stickers right here. The ones they have to stick inside of the parts at the rear of that broom thingy. These take quite a while, but of course they're kind of like an option. You could leave them off. And there we go, everything is absolutely built, and we're at 2 hours and 9 minutes, so everything went pretty okay. The escutcheon is included, but as far as I know, when this is Permet score 5, it doesn't use the escutcheon whatsoever, so I just built it anyway because it is in the instructions. Anyway, let's check it out. So finally there is high-grade Calibarn Permet score 5 snapped together, and that's what it looks like out of box, pretty much straight built. Besides the fact that I did mildly panel line the face just to bring out the details around the cheeks and paint the eyes with the Gundam marker in one coat of yellow-green. That is it. Besides that, this is what this kit looks like just out of box, snapped together, pretty much straight built. And I have to say, this right here is a kit that I feel the gunpla community needs to be mildly angry about. And the reason for that is this right here should have been the kit we got full release, not the other version really. It is really nice that the other one does have the pearlescent look, but that to me is a little bit more of a kind of peak look that it gets towards the end. Inside of the box we should have had the option of the red and the pearlescent, not necessarily the Permet score off, and then the, well, Permet score pearlescent. The original kit really should have included the red. This is what we saw for the majority of the time that Calibarn was present in the anime, and this is what it was emblazoned in when it shot onto the screen in that Gundam unicorn kind of way. And this is what gives it the kind of unicorn Gundam kind of color scheme. So it is a bit strange that this was never released as a full release, or these stickers and parts weren't included. The fact that they're event exclusive and premium Bandai is a little bit of a letdown, a huge bit of a letdown, because as far as I'm concerned, this is the version I would want, and I assume that most people would. Besides that, this is the exact same kit we would have seen the last time around, besides the Permet score. It does look absolutely fantastic in there, in that Gundam Ariel and Gundam Rubris kind of way, with that fiery red yellow Permet, and on top of it we do have that V-fin in a, well, I'd almost say a solid black, but no, this is still a clear plastic, which is painted black on the back. But yeah, besides the shell units and the Permet, this is the exact same kit you do see in the full release, so let's give them a little bit of a comparison. So jumping into the full 360 spin, just to kind of show you what they look like side by side, I'll have the one we're taking a look at today on the left, the original version on the right, and there really isn't much to say. Physically, these kits are identical. The only actual thing that's different about the two robots is the included molded chest piece, but besides that, everything is the same, just different color stickers inside of the box. There really isn't much to say. It's a fantastic looking kit, builds up phenomenally. Both versions are fantastic, but if the Permet Core 5 one is really worth it to you to pay the extra price to get it, well, honestly, I don't blame you. I find the red is punchier and cooler personally, but still pretty much identical kits. I will mention the one on the right I did panel line, so that is the only real difference that you're seeing between the two. So as it is the Permet that is different between the two, I'm going to take a look at both of them, and I can't see this right now, but you'll see them side by side, just so you can see them at the exact same camera exposure, everything. So this is kind of the difference between them. As far as I can see, the red doesn't seem as impactful when it comes to the brightness, but the overall color scheme I feel does suit a little bit nicer. So just moving through the parts now, there is the shoulder, again, the premium Bandai one on the left, the standard version on the right. Moving down now to the upper thigh, probably one of the biggest piece of Permet besides the chest. Next up, the crotch Permet, that is a small little piece in there, just tiny. And lastly then, the V-fin and head Permet combo. Big difference between the two, of course. There is a clear version available inside the normal box. I will also mention that that clear version is also inside of this box as well. A little bit upside down there. But yeah, that one is included here as well as a spare. You could just spray that down in black if you broke your other one, and you would have it in here, which is handy. This little chest piece right here is instead of the pre-molded section, and one reason you might want to use that is in this box we do get variation of the stickers for using with the Permet score. Now I'm not sure what this is meant to be, whether it's meant to be it just powering up, because that's kind of the vibe it gets, but basically it's a white running through red, and that does go for all the individual parts in here, so we do have an option. So if you do actually use this, it does have the upper section, and that's what the clear extra piece is for. I just went for this one because it is the one that I assume most people will end up going for, because it is the one with the nice pre-molded chest piece. But yeah, at its core, this right here is the exact same kit that we would have seen so many months ago with the high-grade Calibarn right here, which I did rate the best kit of last year. It's just this time, you've got the reds. Having to shell out for this kit just to get some red stickers and a piece is a little bit crazy, but it's one of those things, if you need it, you need it, and I needed it. So now jumping into the accessories, and here's everything that comes with this version of the high-grade Calibarn. If we wind back in time, you can see it's exactly the same, once again, as what came with the regular old Calibarn. And there's nothing regular about it. It's fantastic. But what we get in here is a runnerless stand, always nice, to pose your kit in the air. We've got aerials escutcheon in white. We've got the variable rod rifle, aka the broomstick cannon, and we've got a pair of beam sabers in blue, so exactly the same as what we would have seen before. So the stand right here is a stand. It does what a stand does. You just take the 3mm peg of this, shove it up the Calibarn's undercarriage just like so, and this is what you get. It keeps your gunpla off the ground and does it, well, just the way that you need it done. I absolutely love it when these stands are included, but you will notice I don't tend to use them in videos. The reason is, if I want to angle him up towards the camera, I can't. Or it, should I say, not a him, it. Because, well, you know, it has no actual articulation. I'd have to take this out each time and re-angle it, and you only have really a couple of choices of directions with it. So in general, I tend to use an articulated stand like this one right here. As usual, it is the one from Good Smile Company known as the Simple Stand. And it pretty much does the same thing, but I can angle the Gundam for the review, which makes me happy. So next up in here, when it comes to the hands, these are the only hands we have in here. These are just the usual kind of block style fists that you see with gunpla all of the time. Not really the most exciting thing for posing, but you know, it would have been nice if we had some wide spreads in here. It's more of that kind of how to say, there's a lot kind of annoying about this kit, even though at the same time it's quite perfect. That is one of the biggest ones. And the reason for that being, the only way to get your hands on these hands, the widespread ones, for using with this line of kits is to actually buy a sold separately option set, which comes with the backpack for the aerial, which kind of makes no sense. Would have been nice to be able to get a pack of maybe 5 pairs of these sold separately, but it's just more Bandai nonsense. Like the fact that this red could not just come inside of the original box. Anyway, I digress. When it comes to the weapons in here, first off, we've got a pair of beam sabers in blue, exactly the same as what we would have seen before. Getting these attached into the hands is the simplest way possible. You just slide them down into the hands just like so. I'm going to attach one in reverse grips just so you can kind of see how that works in a pose, and then getting this into a pose is super simple. It's a nice fluid moving solid gunpla that just poses extremely very nicely, and this is what it looks like in a pose then. So yeah, pretty much the same kit. I do love the red a little bit more than the rainbow, and overall looking awesome. When these are not in use, you just pop out the beams as usual and they pop onto the backpack like this. Now I have to admit, the backpack does disappoint me a little bit now compared to the Robot Tamashi, which has moving handle attachment points so they can swing around up and down. They're static on this kit. So the next piece of equipment we have in here is the escutcheon. Now, I'm just going to attach this on like a shield, that's all I'm going to do in this review, but the other things that you can do with this, of course, is just like we would have seen all the way back to the aerial. This can separate apart into a load of pieces to be used as a bit on form, same as we would have seen with the standard version of this right here, the Calibarn. But the reason I'm not going to be using this is because it doesn't really make much sense, because with this particular kit in anime, these all attached onto it as it was changing into this Permet score version with the rainbow effects. So I'm going to be sticking this one with the bit on form and keeping this one the way it was when we saw it fly out first. But yeah, attaching this as a shield is super simple. It just attaches into the back of the arm, just like so. And of course, it does look fantastic, as it always has, like I mentioned, all the way back to the regular, original, high-grade aerial Gundam. But yeah, seeing as I'm going to be bit-onning my standard high-grade Calibarn right here, I might as well just do it on camera, in case, for one reason or another, you haven't seen what it is like or seen it before. Identical sections that attach into the shoulders, some asymmetrical shield kind of pauldron parts around the back of the arms like so. We've got flaps for on the hips like this. Around back then we've got some longer grey sections which attach into the butt section, a flap for on top of that, and then two parts which extend the thrusters from back into wing-like thrusters. Overall giving the kit a lot more bulk, and it's a simple yet effective little bit of a transformation type thing. Pretty cool. So when it comes to the weapons in here, the Varial Rod Rifle is always the main event. It's got a lot of nice moving parts. That's this handle right here. We've got another handle which flips out from underneath, just like so. Well, that won't be underneath when it's attached. That's the top. And we do have these sections here that open up with the kind of pain in the butt stickers that attach in, but they do have a very nice effect when in there. This also extends out just like that, and overall this is one fun rifle. Now I did build this with the alternate sticker, not the most exciting variation around, but it is just grey in there instead of being this active green color, but it's just to keep them a little bit different. And actually after doing this, I kind of wish I had just left these stickers off, but hey, they're on there now. So getting this attached on is super simple. We've got a ball joint around back. The arm of this attaches onto that super securely and feels great. Then you just guide it forward to the hand just like so and attach it in. It is easy, easy, easy. Now I mentioned it doesn't ever seem like the Calibarn stores this around back or anything like that out of the way. So it seems like it always just holds onto it in its hand. So that's the pose it's going to stay in. And that is pretty much it. I'm going to get this into the pose that it was in when it dropped into battle in that iconic Unicorn Gundam style scene. That's the way I'm going to be keeping this one. And if you do want to see any more about the articulation on this particular kit, you can just check out the review I did of the standard high-grade Calibarn Gundam, because they are physically identical. So I guess the only real take-home point with this video right here is the fact that this is the exact same kit we saw before with the red that you probably wanted in the first place. So Bandai, once again, a little bit of trickery. You need trickery for the hands, you need trickery to have this. They're just trying to empty out your wallet, and they successfully did so here. Well, I don't regret it. If you do want one of your own, there is a link down there in the description. I did get mine through Bai. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews, and I'll see you next time. I can't end this video right here without the usual thanks, saying thank you so much for watching. This video and this channel would not be possible without each and every single one of you, including those of you who support me over on the channel memberships and on Patreon, including Abraxas, Caleb Engelhart, Go Little Rockstar, Joe, Org59061, Shadow Wolf 179, 10 Soldier YT, and Van Fawn.